I suppose you wanna preview Championship Sunday.
Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so we'll start the first game of the day on Sunday. Philly versus the 49ers, 1 p.m. on Fox. Philly, when I just looked here, the line opened at 2 point favorites. It's already up to 2.5 points. I think this game is going to come down to QB play. Whoever makes that first mistake is going to lose. This is going to be a slow defensive battle. It's going to be a rock fight. Who can stop the run? Who's going to make it into a passing, a 3rd and 8 drop back pass game? Whoever does that effectively is going to win. I think early on, I think both teams are going to try to hit a deep shot, try to flip the field because I think field position is going to be huge in this game, and it's going to be just a slobber knocker. That's the best way to put it. I'm excited for it. It's going to be in Philly. It's going to be a raucous crowd. Two of the faces of the NFL franchises between Philly and the Niners, historic franchises, and I'll let you talk and see if there's anything that I need to add for this or that I think of as you're talking.
Well, so as we know, the Niners number one defense in the league. I think points per game, yards per game, and then the best front four in the league. Well, they may have finally met their match in this Philadelphia offensive line. But there's one thing I think we need to look at, like you said earlier, Dylan, when we were discussing the Eagles Giants game, is Lane Johnson's going to need surgery. And after a couple of those early pass rushes against Kayvon Thibodeau, you could tell he was a little ginger and he wasn't feeling too good. So if I'm San Francisco and I see that, no, I'm going up against three Pro Bowlers up front. I'm rushing Nick Bosa off left end all night. I understand Lane Johnson in theory is probably their best tackle and maybe their best offensive lineman. But if he's just banged up a touch, I want Nick Bosa going up against him. And it might not pay off in the first quarter. It might not pay off in the second quarter. Become the third and the fourth quarter when this is a tight game, the Niners need to play. Lane's going to get tired. Was it a leg or a groin injury? It's going to slowly give out. Nick's going to be able to get by him, and Nick's going to make a play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick really tries to see it. He might try to get out wide right away to see how far of a reach Lane Johnson has with that groin, see where it is, and
But then
go from there and adjust to it.
But that's also dangerous in this aspect.
Yeah, and
Jalen.
you almost have to. That almost has to be like a D'Amico Ryan's. That might be a chess match where might have him Bosa rush up field, but making sure there is a linebacker there to fill that spot. I would expect that. I would expect uh, somebody to be spying Hurts every play.
It has to be Fred Warner because Dre Greenlaw's
Yep.
good, but he's not fast enough. And Fred Warner is a heat-seeking missile there at that middle linebacker position. Something in the water in the Bay Area that no one else in this country has. Just talk about a plethora of riches there in San Francisco, their inside linebacker play. But yeah, with Bosa, if he's rushing Johnson, as soon as he gets to Jalen's level, he's got to peel back and he's got to rush with contain and make sure Jalen can't get out of the pocket and get those cheap 6 or 7 yards when the Niners rush by him, because they did that a couple times on Sunday where it's like, hey, you're looking for them to get a stop. They rush with no integrity, and Dak takes off and gets a first down with his legs. So big thing for San Francisco. Like I said, I'm putting stress on that Lane Johnson groin with my best player, and I'm going to see if he can handle it. But and then also, this 49ers team, they want to be physical and they want to run the ball. Well, they're going up against their match in this Philadelphia front, who had over 60 sacks by their defensive linemen this year.
Probably the deepest D line.
The deepest D line in the NFL. They can just rotate.
That's Sue. Oh man, that was a guy that I was really hoping Dallas was going to sign. You can never have enough pass rushers this late in the year.
No, Sue, Fletcher Cox, Linval Joseph, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham. I mean, they're going to be just rotating bodies left and right. And I look for San Francisco to maybe do this. If they get a first down, pick the tempo up. Get going. Don't let Philadelphia rotate players and have them be 7-8 deep. Make them play with the same four for 5, 6, 7 plays in a row. Just go there, keep the intensity up, and make Philadelphia get worn out and tired.
Yep.
But then in
And
return, San Francisco, they're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have to remember this. Hey, these 2 to 3 yard gains in the first quarter, they're going to become 5, 6, 7, 8 yard gains in the third and fourth quarter if you stick to this game plan.
like it was against Dallas.
Like it was against Dallas. You got to be patient with it. And I think Kyle knows that compared to the rest of the NFL.
Yep. And I think Philly on the defensive side, another part of it too, is Purdy likes that middle of the field. Those crossers with Kittle and Ayuk, Samuel,
Mm-hmm.
hitting them across the middle. I think that's going to be huge for Philly, is making sure the linebackers are getting into their drops and taking away that middle of the field where Purdy likes it, and see if they can bait him into an interception, because that's going to be the difference. Is the turnovers, is who's able to force those turnovers. If they're and make Purdy look like a rookie, which he still hasn't done.
But that's the importance though of actually playing football. He played
Yep.
4 full seasons at Iowa State, over 1,000 college snaps. He's played a lot of football in his life, and he's played in a lot of big stadiums. He's played at Memorial Stadium. He's played at DKR there in Texas. He's gone to Waco. He's played in Lubbock. He played at Kinnick Stadium. He's seen, big stadiums like this and raucous crowds. And even in yesterday's post game interview, unflappable. Didn't want to talk about himself. He was humble, and he just knew he was there to get a win, and he was doing the media stuff, but he just wanted to play ball. So, but to your point, what if he does have an interception or two, and he kind of spazzes a little bit? Then do the wheels? Do they come off the wagon too? Does he unravel? Does he spiral down like he did against Iowa in 2021 when Matt Hankins had that first interception, and then he lost the game from them from there? Stay tuned, folks. And then also, Dylan, one thing I think Philadelphia needs to do, they need to challenge Chardavius Ward. Given up a lot of deep shots this year in the San Francisco defense. And if you're looking for one player who can exploit that, it'd be A.J. Brown. He's a big body guy. He's fast. He can get up. He can get that 50-50 ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles challenge number 7 in white, on Sunday afternoon, because he's been giving up big plays this year when the Niners have rarely given up a big play. So see if Nick watches that on film and takes advantage of that, mismatch they have.
Yeah. Well, so we've got everything covered here. What's your prediction for the NFC Championship? Oh, also too, the total for the game is 45.5. This game's going to be over. I think this game's going to be fast. This might be a 3-hour game.
I think it's going to be under 45.5.
Yes.
I'm thinking.
Let's get the predictions of the games here. I've got Eagles 19, 49ers 17. I think in the end, it's going to come down to home field. And I think the Niners are able to make just a couple more plays. I think they're able to get that interception off of Purdy. And that's going to be the difference, is that interception. The Niners sneak it out with a late field goal.
The Eagles?
The Eagles sneak out a late field goal to win 19-17.
I've been on this team since August, saying they were going to be in the Super Bowl, saying I love their defense. Their offense was going to come around. I'm not jumping ship now. I mean, we're here. I'm gonna roll with San Francisco, 20-17.
Okay.
And I understand.
Pretty much just flipped.
I understand the Eagles have a deeper defensive line, but San Francisco has the better players. And I think the body blow that Nick Bosa delivers is eventually going to become knockdown shots, and he's going to get home there in the second half, and they're going to make enough plays to slow this Eagles team down. So I'm going to stick with the Niners. 20-17, like I said, because I've been on this team since August. So I'm not falling off now. So Niners back to the Super Bowl.
All right, there you go. Okay.